I have seen things that nightmares are made of. Do you believe in ghosts?
The following footage you are about to see is raw, unscripted footage of a paranormal investigation of an alleged haunted location by the Southern Indiana ghost hunters. Any evidence, if any, that is found within this footage is the interpretation of the Southern Indiana ghost hunters, but may not be the only explainable reason for such evidence. It's up to the viewer to decide.
Bardstown is the second oldest city in Kentucky. It was named after the Bard brothers, David, who owned the land, and William, who surveyed and platted the town. The first European Americans settled in Bardstown in 1780. The Talbot Inn, built in 1779 in the center of town, welcomed the settlers as well as many historical figures like Daniel Boone, Abraham Lincoln, and Jesse James, and still welcomes residents and visitors to this day. The beautiful and historic town boasts over 100 buildings built before the Civil War, a grand courthouse built in the center of the town square, and is designated as a National Historic District. The Jim Beam, Heaven Hill, Barton 1792, and the Maker's Mark distilleries operate in and around Bardstown, giving it the name the bourbon capital of the world. It is home to Federal Hill, or My Old Kentucky Home, the farm and mansion owned by U.S. Senator John Rowan in the late 1700s, said to have inspired Stephen Foster's ballad, My Old Kentucky Home, now the Kentucky State Song. St. Joseph's Basilica, the first Catholic church west of the Allegheny Mountains, built from 1816 to 1819. A pioneer cemetery dating back to 1789, with 2 Revolutionary War soldiers buried on its property, and where the steamboat inventor, John Fitch, was buried until 1927, when his remains were moved to a memorial on the town square. Today it is home to the 4th largest Civil War museum in the country, the Oscar Getz Museum of Whiskey, the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and is a destination on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Bardstown is also home to the Old Jailers Inn, whose property was in operation as the Nelson County Jail from 1797 until 1987. The front part of the building, now used as a bed and breakfast, was built in 1819 and housed 8 cells and a dungeon upstairs where inmates were shackled to the floor. The building had no staircase and only 1 window on the 2nd floor. The inmates were hauled up by a ladder, which was then removed and locked in a closet. The back part of the building was added on in 1874, at which time the entire front of the building was renovated into the jailer's residence. It was built of 30-inch thick limestone bricks with a 10-foot-high stone-walled courtyard. The top of the walls were never lined with wire, as inmates were never allowed outside during their stay, no matter how long it may have been. The gallows was located in the courtyard, where approximately 20 public hangings were carried out, the last being in 1926. However, there were many lynchings by vigilantes done from a tree on the property. Historical records report 5 bodies to be buried in the courtyard. However, the exact locations and identities remain unknown. Just a few feet from the courtyard wall behind the jail is the old Pioneer Cemetery, and right across the alley is the Talbot Inn. With its amazing history and original buildings, this area seems to be saturated in paranormal activity. Reports of unexplainable things on the property have been made for many, many years, and it is said to be haunted by a gentleman by the name of Martin Hill, who murdered his wife and was incarcerated in the jail. While awaiting his hanging, Martin became very ill with a fever and was said to have suffered great pain and misery for weeks before dying. His screams and moans of agony are still said to be heard to this day. Today, the front of the building is used as a bed and breakfast with 7 rooms. Guests now retire in what once must have been a truly miserable and horrible place to be. The back part of the building still houses the old jail and offers tours and paranormal investigations. On December 15th of 2017, Cy had the pleasure to stay at this historical bed and breakfast, and we did our time in the Nelson County Jail. There is an energy on the property and in the building that is hard to miss, and we did have experiences that could not be explained. Is the old jailer's inn haunted? We'll let you decide. Here's a little of what we experienced during our incarceration in the Nelson County Jail.
Good evening, everyone. This is Mike, Barb, and Debbie with the Southern Indiana Ghost Hunters. We're here at the old Nelson County Jail, also known as the Jailer's Inn in Bardstown, Kentucky. This jail was built back in 1784 and was in use all the way up to 87, 89.
We'll get it.
I'll remember here in a bit. We're going to do a spirit box session here in one of the old jail cells and see what we can bring forward. If there's any persons here that like to make itself be known, can you please do so now? And then make no noise. Moving an object. Stating your name. Or can you touch one of us? Can you say that again?
That was a kind of creepy voice.
Well, I would have said hours.
Did you say you were here? If you can see us in this room, you'll see that there's a blue light on the top bunk. If you were to speak into that blue light, we may be able to hear you. There's also a box with an antenna on it. If you were to walk up to that box, you may be able to make the lights flash on that box. Does that sound like something you'd like to do?
Oh, there we go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, if you walk closer to that box and touch it, you can make the light stay on. And you can talk to us through that too. You want to flash the light once for yes, twice for no, and 3 times for maybe.
Was.
That was no.
There we go.
There we go.
Whoa,
Thank you.
awesome.
If you step closer, you can make the siren go off.
There you
Thank
go. Good job.
Says a girl.
Cool. If you can take a step back, the siren will stop, but the light will stay on. If you can hear me, can you try that? Please? Thank you.
Thank you.
Who might we be speaking with this evening? Would you tell me your name, please? Were you an inmate here at the jail? You say it one more time. If you were an inmate here, what year was that? Or are you still an inmate here? You're here. Are you always here? yes, can you take a step back? Thank you.
Are you here alone? Are there others here with you? Are you up for some company tonight? Thank you.
Thank you. Cool. Can you take a step back so we can talk to you, fella? Please?
Thank you. Probably don't get too many visitors, do you?
That's really cool of you.
Can you tell us how many inmates are in this cell right now? Who's Paul?
Paul?
Paul. Are you Paul?
Is there a Paul in here?
Do you know what year it is now? If I was to open some of these other doors, I hear that you dropped the tone down on the box. If I was to open some of these doors, would you be able to leave at will? Hello?
Are you still here with us?
Is that yes?
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Yeah. If that's yes, can you step back so we'll know? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Want to try it again? I'd like you to speak into the blue light. Thank you. Is there anybody else here that'd like to come forward and speak with us? Spend the evening with us.
We're gonna be here all evening. Is that gonna be okay?
Okay, we're back. We're in the same cell that we were in. But we brought a few more toys with us this evening to try to help anybody that would like to come forward and speak with us. We have a periscope that we have set up. We also brought in the side pumps. We call them side pods. And we brought in a Tesla coil. This will be tried out for the first time tonight. For those of you who are not familiar with the Tesla coil actually pumps energy out into the air. The Tesla's version of the Tesla coil, the big version, it pumped out AC energy because it was articulating current which ran by the motors that he created. This one, however, is pumping out DC energy, which is mainly what our bodies run off of. And it's suspected that spirits would still have that same energy when people pass. And it's pumping out at a low rate at the moment, but we'll see if it can actually help them gather enough energy to speak with us. We're back. Hello? Anybody like to come speak with us again? We brought a few things with us that may help you speak with us. Give you a little bit of energy. Be willing to try that out. Anybody? Was that you trying to answer me? I'm going to try to give you a little boost. Turn my light on for just a second so I can see. Coil has been activated. Anybody come forward now? Can you use the energy off that tube? Feel free to take as much energy as you wish. Hello? Thought I heard it one.
I did too.
How are you tonight? I'm actually going to have to shut the coil down for a bit because it gets really, really hot when we use it. So we have to use small bursts. But the energy is still in the air. Hello, again. If you were trying to speak with me, can you please come forward again? Are there any guards still here? Or maybe even the sheriff? Can you speak a little louder, please? I've also brought a couple of other objects we're going to try out. If you see a round object sitting up there, it looks like it's got a bunch of spokes sticking out of it. If you were to walk up to that object, you may be able to see you. Would you be willing to try that? I'm going to try to raise up the EMF field for you now. See if that'll help you. When you use the energy from those two pumps, Does it get lonely here? I know I've been in jail once, and I didn't like it.
Unfortunately, I have too, and I didn't like it a bit. Were there ever any women here?
Did you ever see any women in here? I heard there used to be a lady jailer here at one time. Would you know her name?
They say she still hangs around. She's still here? Anybody here?
Anybody at all? You're awful quiet. I'm gonna turn the pumps off. I'm gonna try the coil one more time. Heard something then?
That's the voice we heard a while ago.
Yeah. Is that better? Does that frequency make it better for you? Can you come back, please? You're here? Who are you? What's your name? It's very hard to hear you. I think you're trying. You're very faint. Take the coil down again. Can you use what energy is still lingering in the air there from the coil? I believe somebody's trying to talk.
Trying, it sounds like. Look, look.
Hello? You see that? Picking you up on the periscope.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that a voice?
Yeah. There might just be here at detox.
Could you repeat that, please? Is that hello?
What are you in here for? Did you just come in tonight?
place?
Okay. Can you tell me your name? Then as we're all in here together,
Kind of close quarters. Might as well get friendly. My name's Barb.
I'm Debbie.
my name's Mike. What's yours?
Is it all right that we're here visiting you?
Do you see a little round object in there? It's got the smoke sticking out of it. You lit it up a minute ago. Would you go back over to it and see if you can light it up again? Got a
Flash.
on it.
There we go.
Oh, that's cool. Well, you can talk to us through that too. If you heard us earlier, it'll be one flash for yes, two flashes for no, three flashes for maybe.
Are you the only one in this cell tonight?
Besides us? How long have you been here? Can you tell me today's date?
Has to get awful boring and awful lonely. You been over to the tavern across the street?
How many people usually come through here? I said all of them.
All of them or a lot of them? Heard it was a pretty busy place for a while. Long while.
Are you from Nelson County? Like from out of state?
We're from Indiana. Where are you from?
We're just visiting you.
Thought you guys might like a visit this evening.
Do you have many people come visit?
Are you still here?
I'm here.
Sound like want to get out of the device and see if it can't see you on it. Nothing here will harm you. We're not here to harm anything. We're just here to speak with you, get to know you. And if you wouldn't mind, maybe you can help us out. That'd be okay?
We'd like to tell your story if you'd let us.
Okay. Well, we're going to come back and speak with you here in just a bit. If you'll hang around for us, would you do that? Well, thank you very much for coming forward. We appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, we're back. We're going to do a quick walkthrough of the jail with our SLS and see if we might be able to capture anything. Now, I would like to state that in this jail, there's a lot of bars, and bars can cause false positives. So we're going to go through and try to figure out what may be real and what may be not. As you see right now, it says anomaly detected. And what it's picking up is that corner, but we're starting to have a little bit of green build here. Okay, now the wall has went green and it's gone. Now it's back. Let's see if we pick something up on the wall. Actually, I think it's picking up the corners here of the cabinet below, because when I raise it up, the anomaly goes away. And now the anomaly is, there it is again. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts picking up a figure here. No figures yet. But what I'd like to show everybody, if you aim it at bars, any kind of horizontal or vertical thing that may be in there, this is just a plain wall here. Let's see if we can get something on it. It's saying anomaly detected.
Are you laying up against that wall, sleeping one off?
Nothing yet. Now the wall has went completely clear now. No anomalies. So that may have been something trying to manifest. With the SLS camera, it's very, very difficult to pick up what might be real and what might be a false positive. As you can see right now, the screen is clear. There's nothing here. Nothing's changed, but here are bars. And you see we're starting to get anomaly detected. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a figure that shows up here soon. And so far, nothing.
But just to prove my point, I'm gonna show, well, there's a figure right there. And it's right here on the side. Okay, well, let's just check and see. It's on the side of the wall here. Let's see if it grows, which it does grow. Okay, let's see if it can understand us. Are you waving at me? Can you understand me? Hello?
Can you reach out and touch my hand?
It just left.
That's good. That's back.
Now it's back.
Can you touch Barb?
It gets
It
better.
left again.
It's back.
It's back now.
Reach out there and touch Barb's hand.
It's raising its hand to touch you. It is raising its hand. And when you lowered your hand, it reached for it.
Can you touch my hand again, please?
Can you take Barb's hand?
Putting its arm in your palm.
Thank you.
That's really cool of you. Thank you. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin around even further because I want to show you Barb and Debbie. And it's gone, it left. The whole anomaly left. Here in a second, you should be seeing their skeletal figures on here. Once it picks it up. And for some reason, it's not picking it up right now.
We need that many skeletons. Just in our closet.
Yeah, there we go. I got Barb's. Got Barb's. It's still working on Debbie's.
All my skeletons are in my closet. Well, that's a big closet, gets full too, buddy.
Okay, I want to turn this over to Barb for just a minute.
2 of them. But yeah, as soon as Deb went over there, it left. But it was weird because it was like right up in here, and it was laying about that way, and both arms were hanging straight down. And then there was one down here. And there's nothing up there, unless it was catching them. Weird.
There's one. And that ain't on the wall either.
No, that's what we seen just a minute ago. Don't be afraid.
Hello? Who are you? Can you come through the door?
Can you come on in with us?
Is this your room?
Are you gonna come in?
And it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk to the room. You can see we get through.
Watch this.
Here in one of the holding cells. See some of our equipment sitting up. Is anybody in here? Like to come out in front of the camera? Please? It's almost like anybody was in this back there.
Yeah.
Can't set it up like
No.
want to either.
Who did we just see? Out in the hallway. Or the other room.